But I was like, oh no, I hope I'm not gonna be a raging, like, crazy person from now on. So I had already like puffed up and was really bloated. Estrogen was rising, yay. It honestly feels like such a violation of my life. Hey, hello, or welcome back. My name is Mareike. I'm 41 years old and I live in Berlin, Germany with my husband and our 2 fluffy cats. On this channel, I share my life as a child-free woman as well as my struggles and joys of slowly but surely getting a little bit older and just trying to be happy and healthy. I just started my first cycle of micronized progesterone in perimenopause, and I'm sharing how that went as well as just a few regular days in my life, plus going out for the first time in quite a few months. So if that's something you're interested in, welcome, and I hope you enjoy watching. Hello again, it's Tuesday night. I feel like I look a little bit disheveled, but hey, I feel like I've totally forgotten how to talk to the camera. Yeah, things did not exactly go as planned since I was actually sick the entire last week. We went out on a little hike with friends a couple of weekends ago, and basically when we were in the middle of nowhere, it started pouring like crazy and didn't stop for quite some time, and all of us ended up being wet. That night I started having a sore throat, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. And I was actually off of work the entire last week, and I'm still not 100%. So again, it's Tuesday night. Usually I would be at the gym, but I'm skipping the gym the entire week. I'll probably go on Saturday, but until then I'm just trying to rest. But that's that. What I did originally plan was to sort of have a daily vlog where I share how I'm doing on progesterone. But then what I did instead was just lying on the couch and do nothing. But I guess what I am going to do is to share like a little bit of a summary of how it went. And looking at my notes, I did definitely experience grogginess and feeling a little bit spaced out for a few days, probably the first like 3, 4, 5 days. I did have a slight headache for the first few days as well. That went away after again like 3 to 4 days. I felt like my overall bloating went down like after the first night of taking it. I think I ovulated probably on day like 12 and then started taking the progesterone on day 15. So I had already like puffed up and was really bloated, and then that kind of came down again. I did have some swelling and some like tenderness in my breasts, but that's something that I have every single month, and I feel like it was not as bad. I think the progesterone did help with that, so that's pretty cool. What else? I did have horrible sleep the few nights before I started taking it, and then also not great sleep for the first like 3 nights when taking it. But then my sleep gradually improved, and usually I do have good sleep and then it just gets worse. But then again, I do feel like when I did wake up at night, especially like towards the end of my cycle, I was not awake for that long and it was easier to fall back asleep. And I feel like my mind was not racing as much. But what I did notice for sure is that my mood improved. Like I think after a few days, I do have a tendency to feel sort of depressed and kind of low come nighttime or like late afternoon. And that's something that basically stopped entirely, which is crazy. So I'm really excited about that and really excited to see how it's gonna go moving forward. But yeah, I did experience a little bit of rage on day 3. I think I was really mad at my husband, but that again subsided. But I was like, oh no, I hope I'm not gonna be a raging like crazy person from now on. And another thing regarding mood is that I felt like when I did have like negative, low depressive thoughts, I was way better able to regulate them and be like sort of snap myself out of them. Again, could be placebo, who knows. But one thing that I did not expect, and it was kind of crazy, is that the sort of come down, if you can call it that, was pretty tough. So I think around the last 2 days of my cycle, I could notice that my boobs were like more tender and everything was kind of feeling a little bit worse than it did before. And again, that's when progesterone has a really steep like drop. But the crazy thing to me was that first of all, I only had like proper PMS for half a day. That was actually insane. Like I took a nap, woke up and I was like really miserable and like ugh. Like PMS. And then the next day I woke up with my period. So that was crazy and that was amazing. Like, who has half a day of PMS? But then what I didn't take into account, I stopped taking progesterone on the first day of my cycle. And then that night I had such a bad night's sleep. And also I feel like my mood was lower than it usually would have been. Like, I don't know, usually on the first day of my cycle, my mood goes up like this. And now it was like kind of going down. So that was not ideal. Started again researching, and apparently it is an issue for some women that coming off of progesterone, leaves them just feeling a little bit depressed and a little bit low. And that can apparently last for a couple days or so. And what's recommended is to take like a lower dose, maybe cut a capsule in half, take 50 milligrams for a couple nights or so to not have such a steep decline. And I did actually end up taking like half a capsule for one night because I was like, oh, I really don't feel that great. And since then, I feel like my usual PMS time, like the time when I was taking progesterone, I was feeling like my mood was better than it is now during the first half of my cycle, where I'm usually way happier, way more motivated, way more productive. And I'm wondering if I can just feel the difference now, or if taking the progesterone messed up my like estrogen progesterone balance a little bit. I don't know, but I have definitely like the low moods at night have returned, which I did have during the first half of my cycle anyway. So I feel like maybe it's just the fact that I can really feel the difference now. Now I do kind of wish that I was still on the progesterone, and I'm considering either upping my dose or at one point maybe not taking it cyclically but just taking it every single night. But I'll have to see. And I think, long story short, I feel like I'm tolerating the progesterone pretty well. Like, not with no side effects, but very low side effects. And overall, it has, I think, improved my mood and has improved my sleep. I also wanted to show you our new ceiling light for the bedroom. This is something that I have been wanting to get for months and months, but then it was sold out at the shop where I originally wanted to get it, and now we found it at another shop, and I'm really excited to put that up. And we are also getting new shelves for above the couch, which I'm also really excited about, because after almost 3 years of living here, we still have a lot of decorating to do actually. I've been having these like raw dried greens for quite a long time, but for some reason I stopped the habit of taking them regularly. And like quite a long while ago, I watched this video where the woman was talking about taking her greens and reds and yellows. And so I don't know, again, easily influenced. I get some reds, like red dried powder, like mostly berries, I think, then some yellows like turmeric, ginger, and I think tomorrow morning I'll just try to put all of these, to mix them into a drink and see how that goes. And I feel like it could be a nice start to my day to just have some like phytonutrients early in the day. But yeah, other than that, I do have some sort of news from being at the office yesterday. I feel like I've been talking about this for months and months, and it's still very vague, but again, it looks even more like we'll have to return to the office. I think the company would ideally like us to return for 4 days a week, which is crazy to me. It honestly feels like such a violation of my life. I do enjoy being there 1 to 2 days a week, which that would be totally fine for me, but for even 3 days a week, oh my god. But yeah, tomorrow is Friday. Can't wait for the week to be done. And then Saturday morning I will finally go to the gym again, and I'm really looking forward to that. Do I edit or do I squeeze in a quick workout? I feel like I should actually edit. So yeah, anyway, I'll just stop talking and I'll start editing. Happy Friday! I'm sorry, I'm probably a little bit too excited that it's Friday. But yeah, it's also the first day where I feel like I'm at least 95% back on track. I actually went on a mini walk this morning, which I haven't really done over the last 2 weeks since, again, I was sick. But yeah, I'm really excited to be feeling so much better, to actually have the motivation to go on a walk in the morning. And I feel like it's weird to be looking down on you, but I'm in the middle of work and I was kind of too lazy to adjust my entire desk setup to be on your level. Anyway, it's a pretty nice day, first of all, because the weather is nice. Second, my mood is actually really good, despite the fact that I only slept 6 hours max, I think. It's also, I think, day 8 or 9 of my cycle, so estrogen is rising, yay. I'm going to meet a friend for dinner tonight, which I'm really looking forward to. And then tomorrow is going to be Fête de la Musique in Berlin. So yeah, I'm going with a friend and her partner actually. And we haven't made any concrete plans yet, but I'm really looking forward. I'm really excited to do something kind of a little bit out of the ordinary of what I have been doing over the last 6 months. Feels like exclusively. It's Saturday morning. I'm on my way to the gym. I feel like after 2 weeks of doing absolutely nothing, just walking, I'm actually not that keen to get moving. That's something that rarely happens to me, but today I'm like, could have just stayed in, lie on the couch, do nothing. I just got home from the gym, did some grocery shopping. I feel like I'm finally back into my regular routine of going to the gym, going grocery shopping right after. It's become super convenient actually to not have to really think about when I'm gonna go to the stores, because yeah, it's just on my way home, and yeah, it's super convenient. A massive salad, which I'm gonna have in a short while. And the weather is great. I'm really excited to go to Fête de la Musique later today. And I'm not sure if I should still eat this hummus. It's quite old. Some vegan salmon. That's something that I've been having quite often recently. And then the fridge is complaining. Vegan cheese. I also got some vegan protein bars. They are not the healthiest at all, but they're really handy for a quick snack. But yeah, my first body pump class in over 2 weeks was a little bit of a drag, I'm not gonna lie, especially in the beginning, but then I feel like I sort of got into the groove again and it became way easier. And it also definitely lifted my mood, which is not a surprise. It always makes such a difference whether I work out or whether I don't. Getting ready to go out tonight. I had such a chill afternoon. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to going out right now, but at the same time, I wish the afternoon would have been way longer. I took a 1.5 hour nap, spent some time in the sun, watching a couple of videos, and yeah, feel ready to go out tonight. And with that, I guess I'm ready to go. I just got home. It's 1 a.m. It was a really nice night. It's obviously not super late, but I was kind of back and forth about leaving the last place we went to and then decided to take the last direct connection. We did end up going to several places tonight and we did go by bike, but in the end I just took the bike on the train because I didn't want to bike for like 40 minutes because I was so tired from like all the dancing. I'm just gonna take a quick shower and then I'm very ready to go to bed. But I feel like tonight, with the beautiful weather, it being such a warm and nice summer night, and just biking through the city, seeing all the people being out and about, and just generally a really good vibe. I feel like I sort of fell in love with the city all over again, and that's something that I haven't felt in a while. So yeah, it was a really good day today. And with that, I'm going to end this vlog, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!